Good morning, I'm Roy Gunther with the City of McAllen. We welcome you to this exciting event to roll out the new buses. Metro McAllen is a place of innovation of programs and services for our community. They continue to consistently provide best public transportation services throughout the year to an amount of 720,000 trips per year. Metro McAllen is also making transporting people around more convenient. They have constructed 2 park and ride lots in the downtown area. Recently, Metro McAllen launched the B-Cycle bike share system that complements bus transit services. Metro Connect, a regional bus service, continues to connect the Rio Grande Valley from UTRGV to McAllen to Brownsville and South Padre Island. It's about providing a seamless regional transportation system for South Texas. Right now, I'd like to acknowledge some of the people that are here. Commissioner Richard Cortez, Commissioner Veronica Whitaker, City Manager Roy Rodriguez, Assistant City Managers Michelle Leftwich, Jeff Johnston, and Assistant City Manager Joe Vera. And of course, we have a whole bunch of McAllen City staff, including our Chief, Victor Rodriguez. I'd also like to acknowledge Keith Patridge from MEDC and Steve Elenius with the McAllen Chamber of Commerce. And of course, we couldn't do all this great work here at the Transit Department without the Congressman's help. So we have Vanessa Nicole Hernandez from Congressman Henry Cuellar's office here. And of course, we have Congressman Filemon Vela and Congressman Ruben Hinojosa's staff, who also helps out a lot. And now today's major announcement. With us today is Commissioner Richard Cortez.
Good morning, everyone. What a beautiful day we have. On behalf of Mayor Darling, who was unable to be here today to welcome you himself, we'd like to welcome you to this really outstanding morning to really celebrate what McAllen is about. McAllen has always been looking for the best ways to serve our community efficiently as possible. And one of the ways we want to do it, and well, hold on, is this the latest and the newest thing we have here? Now I want you to listen very carefully. Are you listening? Are you listening? It's 10 o'clock in the morning, okay. Well, if you don't hear any, oh! Hey. Well, you were not supposed to hear anything. But anyway, this is an exciting time, and I want to turn it over to our McAllen Transit Director, Mr. Mario Delgado, to give you all of the details about these wonderful buses. Mario?
Thank you, Commissioner, and thank you for being here. Before I go on with the details of the project, let me turn it over to our City Manager, Roy Rodriguez, for a few words.
Good morning. This has to be the greatest job in the world, to be able to do this stuff. Thank you for being here. It's a great day for us again today here in McAllen, and we asked for good weather and we get it. God loves us. We're excited to introduce the all-electric buses to our Metro McAllen fleet. The first ever wirelessly charged electric buses in public transit services in the state of Texas. The electric bus systems are cleaner, more efficient, and more reliable. They are also more comfortable and provide a smoother, more attractive journey experience for our passengers. This type of technology is not only making our city smarter, but greener by reducing our carbon footprint. The bus uses zero-emission propulsion system. The bus is running on all electric batteries. They asked me to say this one statement, and I went to the guys that built this thing to make sure this was true. It said the only fluid used on the bus is for the windshield wipers. So I said, well, how about the brakes? And lo and behold, it doesn't have brake fluid. That's why it made that noise. It was supposed to be totally quiet, but those were air brakes. Thank you so much for being here. Here in McAllen, we work really hard on a lot of things. Our competitiveness will never go away. Many times we read in the press or online about how we compete, including the last few days. Don't believe everything you read. That's never going to go away. You know, we always want the best for our community, and we realize that it doesn't only include McAllen, but it includes our entire region. Where we don't compete is these kinds of things, because when we work on quality of life issues, there's just no other entity in the region that competes against us. And that's because the people that have been here before us have always known how important quality of life is to the city of McAllen. I'm very, very proud to be a very small part of today's announcement, because this is the culture that we live in here in McAllen. Whether it's the people here today, the ones that were here yesterday, or the ones that are here tomorrow, these are the things that McAllen does. I'm very proud of this great day. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Mr. Rodriguez, for the words. I would also like to thank our delegation, Senator Lucio, Congressman Hinojosa, Congressman Cuellar, and Congressman Vela, as well as our mayor and our city commission for their continued support of not only of our department, but our transit system, but all of our projects that we undertake. I'd also like to thank city management. Without their leadership, we wouldn't be where we are today. And like Mr. Rodriguez said, we're truly excited about these new fully electric buses. The buses have zero tailpipe emissions, so they'll make our already green fleet even greener. The buses will help reduce fuel costs as well as maintenance costs. And one of the best things about the technology is that the buses are able to charge inductively. What that means is there's no connections whatsoever. As the bus pulls over our charging pad, it charges through an 8-inch air gap. And so the bus is able to do that without interruption in service. Otherwise, if we had to plug it in, we'd have to pull it out of service. With this technology, we can get a full day of service on the bus without having to stop it to recharge. Additionally, the bus is about 5 feet longer than what we currently operate, so we'll have additional capacity on our fleet. The project does include 2 fully electric buses, 40-foot buses, 1 charging station that's located here at the bus terminal behind us, right under the bus. And it is a federally funded project, so 90% of the cost of this project was funded by a Federal Transit Administration grant. So before I forget, I'd also like to acknowledge some key participants in the project. Mr. Bob Canterbury, who's a project lead. Without his help, we wouldn't be here today. He was a hardworking man throughout the project. The engineering department, of course, it's assisted with us in the project. The Parks Department, Public Information Office that helped put this program together, as well as our contractor, Half and Associates, who are representatives here today, as well as Holshemont and Zitro Electric. And lastly, I'd like to invite some of our project partners. First off, let me invite Mr. Michael Mascalier. He's the CEO of Wave, who is the developer of the inductive charging technology. Mike.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks, Mario, for the nice introduction. It's a pleasure to be here today. Wave is a company that comes out of Salt Lake City, Utah, so thanks for bringing the nice weather. When I left, there was about 5-6 feet of snow piled up where I live, so this is a nice, pleasant place to be. So I'd just like to start by saying a few words to thank all the project partners. Mario has become my best friend over the last year or so as we worked through all the potential snags that would come up to pull this project off. So I'd like to thank him in particular, Complete Coachworks, Dale Carson and his entire team for supplying the wirelessly charged all-electric buses, which this would not be possible without him. And then, of course, working with Holshemont and the local electric utility company. So it's been a great pleasure to work with everybody. So a little bit of background on the company and the technology. So I think we'd all be driving electric vehicles today if it weren't for the limitations of batteries. As you probably know, they're large, they're heavy, they're very expensive, and they actually take up a lot of space on a vehicle. So what we do is we put, as Mario said, we put a charging pad on the roadway, and we transfer power to the underside of the vehicle through a receiving pad, which seems like magic, but it's technology that you're going to find becoming more and more ubiquitous today. You'll start to find it in vehicles. Many years ago, you could find it in a wirelessly charged toothbrush. So I'm honored to be in McAllen and be able to be a part of this with everybody. So as we transition, then what we'll want to do is go to even higher charging rates, and it'll be able to reduce the size of the battery, make it lighter, make it even more efficient, as Mario had said. So what in-route charging do is it extends the vehicle range, so it takes advantage of the time that the bus sits out here and charges. So it sits there for 10 minutes. The other day, I think we had a range where the bus went over 200 miles, which is literally unheard of, with 17 charges, 10 minutes each. So you can envision in the future with more charges, a little bit longer layover time, you could actually have an electric bus that had a range of 250 to 300 miles, which is groundbreaking. So everybody understands, when the bus sits out here for about 10 minutes, it extends the range by about 5 miles. So when you start to think about that, that time adds up over the day, and that's what gives you the long-term range. So this is our third launch. We have one in Utah, one in Monterey, California. We've got 4 more right behind that. We'll be in Long Beach, Walnut Creek, Antelope Valley out in California, and then back in the East Coast. So soon we'll have 20 systems deployed with 7 different transit agencies, and we look forward to working with Mario and the rest of the city to convert the entire fleet here in McAllen to electric. So just to keep the ball rolling, we would honor the opportunity to deploy more systems with the city of McAllen, and thanks everybody for having us here today.
Thank you, Michael. And at this time, I'd like to invite Dale Carson, president of Complete Coachworks. He's the man behind the bus that you see here.
Yeah, we working on buses is what I'm good at, not being up here. So I just want to really thank McAllen for their leadership and forward thinking in doing this. Electric buses will, in our lifetime, just take over. Every bus manufacturer is doing it. We brought the first electric bus to market about 4 years ago as just a demonstration project, and all the original bus manufacturers have started putting electric buses together now, and it's all being developed and coming on. So McAllen, to be so forward thinking to do this and whatnot, I want to just thank everybody with McAllen for inviting us to the party, I guess. So thank you.
You gonna play? Go.